What's up, YouTube, tube. Okay, before we do anything, let's address the elephant in the room. Um, it's been a year since I last posted. Chill. Guys, like honestly, I was super excited to start the YouTube thing. I just forgot I had a mic. Sorry. Anyways, I was super excited to start the YouTube thing. I was super keen for it. And I was really gonna be committed, but then it turns out uni's kind of hard. Like, yeah, I low key, yeah, I just couldn't do it. The filming while juggling law school, like, it wasn't gonna happen. And but it's okay. I learned, and this year's gonna be a different kind of year. Okay, cool. Now we've got that out of the way. Let's get into today's video. And today's video, as you can see from the title, is how I got into UCT, top university in Africa, how I aced my matric exams, and matric in general, and you can too. Period. So guys, if you see me looking down, I don't know if you can even see it if it's in frame, but I have my phone out, like my other phone, so I'm just like looking at my notes because the girl came prepared, period. So you're either in grade 11 or grade 12, and you have big dreams, you have ambitions, and you see yourself as a top student, you see yourself at one of the best universities in SA, whether that be UP, UJ, UCT, whatever the best is for you, and you want to get into it. So this video is either if you're not doing so well right now and you want to get your marks up, or you're doing well but you can always do better, honey, period. Just a disclaimer, everything I say is like stuff that I did. So just because I did it doesn't mean it will work for you. So obviously, this is like a guide. Take what you can or adjust it to your life. Don't take it as it is, because this is just me, honey. So yeah, okay. First things first, and I think this is the most important thing. And once you've got this down, you're halfway there, literally. And that is having the right mindset or the motivation, essentially. So just to give you guys a bit of context, I don't want to waffle a lot in this video, but I came from a primary school where you would be ranked in terms of maths and English. They were outright with it. They said top class, middle class, bottom class. For me, I was always in the bottom class. Obviously, if you're always put in a certain category, you're always told you're one thing, you obviously believe it. And I guess I just went with it. I got to high school, and high school was great. They didn't do that. There was the first time I experienced when, if you were in class 12 or say grade 8A, grade 8A went to this math teacher, grade 8B went to this one. There was no hierarchy or type of ranking. So that's when I was like, oh, and surprise, surprise, my maths marks got better. To be fair, I did have a good teacher, but my marks improved. And then I think after COVID is when they started ranking us again, because they were like, oh, we want the kids who did well in COVID to be in this class and the kids who didn't. Maybe that's valid. I don't know. That's a debate for another day. Either way, I'm still in the bottom, right? I'm still not in the top 10. People who look like me are not in the top 10. Like female black representation just was not there. And basically I remember when the shift came to me. So for me it was, I think it was the last like week of grade 8 when we were doing like the final prize givings. And basically, yeah, we're looking at the prize givings, we're looking at the top 10 now. And they call out the top 10 in grade 8, and it's like random people. Long story short, there's no black people. If there was, I think there was one black guy, but definitely no black females, right? And even if there's one black person, imagine in the top 10 on the top achievers, like, you know what I mean? But then this is where I was like, wait, so this is not a black problem, black people thing. Like I'm saying, oh, they're discriminating against black people, yada yada. And I'm like, no, it can't be, because I'm looking at grade 10, top 10, and there were like three black girls, and black girls who were like cool, they played sports, and and I'm like, wait, what's going on here? So eventually I'm like, I'm actually sick of this. Like I remember that day I was actually just so upset. Maybe my friends were even asking me, are you okay? Are you okay? But I just didn't want to like verbalize it. And I was just not okay. I was like, what do you mean every time, every grade I'm in, like, are we just dumb? Like what's happening? So I just decided, you know what? I literally just in that moment, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. if no one else is gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. Term three, term four, and I didn't make it in. So I'm like, oh, okay. And I kind of feel like giving up. And I think I low key do. But then grade 10 comes, and I think because I was trying so hard and I discovered all these tactics in grade 9, so they had stuck with me. Even though I'd given up on this goal, I was still like not, it's not as if I was just going to stop working hard or doing schoolwork, you know? So obviously, all the stuff that I'd learned, I went with it to grade 10 and it stuck with me. Grade 10, term 1 comes, I'm not in the top 10. Term 2 comes, I'm not expecting anything. Remember, I've forgotten about this goal. I'm not there anymore because I've given up. Term 2 comes and it's grade 10, top 10, and they say 10th place, Mandisa Kunen. And I'm like, no, no. I was just like so surprised, guys. You like, genuinely, I was like, oh. So I obviously implement all the things I want to talk about in this video. And at the end of the day, well, at the end of Matric, if you've watched my previous videos, you'll know that I ended up finishing fourth in the grade with yeah, in the top five, fourth in the grade, A aggregates, and I got into UCT law, honey. Yeah. So yeah, guys, just stick along for the ride, and I promise you, it is worth your time. Okay, I digressed a bit, but the first point was motivation, right? So that was my motivation for working hard in high school. I wanted to represent, I wanted to show everyone, you know, us black girls, we can do it. That was genuinely the biggest reason why I decided to work hard. That was it for me. By the time I got to grade 10 and 11, that was still a part of it, but I had bigger goals, and which I'll also get into in the video. So find what it is that needs to motivate you. Shift from that mindset of I'm just the dumb kid. Like I promise you, that will set you back so much in your life. Like you are more than what your teachers have told you. You're more than your parents. You're more than the people around you. In a sense that if people around you just believe that we're down here, so you must believe it too. Absolutely not. So yeah, shift that mindset. One of the tips I can give you if you're wanting to be a top achiever, um, at your school, wherever, look at who already is a top achiever. So what I did was when I first started this journey, or later on in the journey, of trying to like be a top achiever, there were those kids at school that were like, oh, those are the smart kids. Oh, that's the smart girl. And at my school, this is what wasn't even in a stereotyping kind of way, but there was like the smart girls who had the highlighters and looked like they had their life together, yada yada yada. I chose like I didn't even choose. Looked at all those girls that I viewed like that, and I just copied them. Literally, look at what those people in your school are doing and copy them. There's a reason why they are top achievers. A lot of people believe like, oh, if you're a top achiever, you're just born smart. You're just like that. That is not the truth. I believed it until I decided to be one of them. Clearly, it's nurture over nature. So pick someone who's like super smart, looks like they have their life together, and imitate them. So, like, one of the things I imitated, I noticed like those kids, those smart kids at school, they would always highlight when we were doing assignments or especially tests. When we were doing tests, they always wanted to have like five highlighters out and highlighting. And I'm like, wow, this is so performative. Like, relax. Turns out there's method to the madness. It's all these methods of highlighting keywords in your exam, highlighting what it is the question is asking you. If you don't understand what the question wants from you, you kind of cooked. I said, damn, bitch. Okay, a second tip. This sounds so basic and maybe something your teachers have always told you, and it's like, girl. But genuinely, and I started only doing this in grade 11, but stay organized. Be organized. Let me not say stay because that would imply you already are organized. If you're not an organized person, be organized. And when I mean I wasn't an organized person, I was literally, you know, those boys, it's usually boys when they get a worksheet, it just goes into the bag and you will see it later. And then you pull it out, it's crumpled, like so crumpled, you can't even read what's on it anymore. Like, that was me. So, what I'm saying is, like, it can be done. It doesn't mean because you're already an unorganized person, stay like that. Like, so what I did, because I knew I'd always stuff, worksheets in my bag. I bought these file things, you know, those things that are like very, they're kind of thin and they come in different colors and you can just like slip stuff in them. They're usually like for office work, but I just bought those and I use them. I bought like four and then I split yellow for English, blue for math, this for that. And then every time I got a worksheet, I would just slip it in there and it goes in its into its color and it stays in your bag. You don't keep it, you don't anything, it stays in your bag. So that's the one way I stayed organized. And then another major way I stayed organized, basically all admit like homework is there for a reason. It sucks and it's like, ugh. But like I wanted to be a person that got my homework done, you know, because I was tired of the oh man, like I mean by matric I failed, but in grade 11 I think I was really good with it. So in grade 11, I bought myself a diary. When ma'am says or sir says, okay guys, do page yada yada, immediately. But see, I wouldn't even take it out of my bag. I would have it on my desk the moment class starts. So I can just write down everything I need to do, write down everything I need to practice, and it's there. I promise you it won't work to think you're gonna remember stuff. You're not gonna remember it. I promise you you won't. So staying organized, I don't know, like that one was really powerful for me. And I think it's just something you need to do to see it for yourself. Yeah, it just worked really great. So being organized is really important. Okay, a bit more of a practical one now, but in class. So I understand that there's some people who, when they're in class, they just can't listen to a teacher speak or focus. And yeah, and I also understand that there's some people that once you get home, you're not trying to open a book. Like you just can't work at home. You need to be in like a school space to concentrate. Like maybe your home is also just not conducive to learning. I don't know. Either way, I have to say pick a struggle. Like honestly, pick a struggle. You're gonna have to do one or the other. If you know Uguti, okay, you're not working at home, you're not taking up books at home, at least then open a book while you're in class, take down some notes, listen to conversations happening, listen to the teacher. I promise you, you will learn a good amount of work just from doing that. If you can't focus in class, fine then when you go home, open your book, read the pages that we were doing in the day or in that class, read over the pages, highlights, whatever it is you want to do. Do it at least one. Obviously we're trying to be top achievers here, so what are we doing? We're doing both. But obviously it's not really easy to take notes or rather to study the work you were doing in class at home every single day. I know that's the advice, but practically I couldn't do it. If you can, that's what you should do, but I couldn't do it. So this is what I did. So this is another tip. If you have a content heavy subject, like for me it was business studies and history, I think those were the biggest, and life science. Whoa, yo, those subjects, man. Like there's just so much content to cover. So what I did was a week or while we were learning that chapter, I wouldn't study it. I wouldn't learn it. It would just I would listen in class, engage, obviously, but I'm not like heavily studying it. I'm just ignoring it. The day you finish learning that subject, so let's say you start learning it on Wednesday, and we finish next week. Let's say we start learning it on Monday, and then we finish it on Thursday. When your weekend starts, some people start studying on Friday, some people start studying on Saturday, wherever you start studying on the weekend. When your weekend starts, that's when you cover the content of the week. You cover the entirety of the subject of the chapter. Sorry, cool. Now you have that there. Now it's like week 3. Sorry if the lighting changed, guys. The sunlights, but we move. Now it's week 3. We're on the third chapter. Same thing. You just finish the chapter on the weekend, go through everything in that chapter. Some chapters are going to be too heavy to cover in a weekend. Obviously, then apply more days or start a bit earlier, whatever. That really helped me. Yo, in grade 11, especially, bro, I was a beast in grade 11. Like, you couldn't tell me nothing. When it came for the time, we had these things called cycle tests. So when the class test, maybe like a class test, when the class test came, guess what? I already have the notes. I'm sorted. I'm good. I'm not going to start learning or writing notes now. I've written the notes. I'm cool. I'm literally just reading it. I'm repeating and repeating, and then I go right. Like I'm not starting again to go study for that test. And guess what happens when you've done that? Isn't it now, let's say you've done that from the beginning of the year. It's now term 4. We're about to go write finals. guess what? You're not starting from the beginning to study. You already have all your written notes. I promise you, especially business and life science, you're not going to be able to write out the whole book from the beginning or write what all your notes from the beginning, like, and you have a test in a week's time. Like, you're just not. And how do I know that? I know that because I tried and I failed a few times. Like, you just can't do it. So make sure you are ahead of the work. Write out all the information. By the time your exam comes, you're so sorted. You're not stressing. That's one of the things that causes stress in an exam. You know, if you go in knowing that you don't know the content, you're gonna obviously stress, and your marks are gonna be worse than what they need to be. So make your life easy. Make your life easy. Okay, another tip: use your resources. Please, 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 please use your resources. So at your school, they probably gave you textbooks, ne? Those are great. And you can do a lot with just the textbook and what you learned in class. But we don't want to just to have the bare minimum, right? So you are a student. It's not up to your teachers to I mean, it is up to your teachers, but like, we want to go the extra mile because we want to, be the creme de la creme, right? So use your resources. You have so many resources available to you. So I can list a few of them. Like, when Kevin's Math Science. I don't know the name, never watched it, but on YouTube, that's a resource. Sorry. So use your resources. Use YouTube videos. Oh my goodness, those help me so much, especially with English. Like, guys, when you have an essay, just go to YouTube. I promise you, especially like the Shakespeare ones. I promise you, there's a cover on YouTube about it with little cartoons and whatever. Same thing with history. Oh my, history! You can't tell me you're struggling with history when there's literally animated 10-minute videos explaining the topic exactly as it is. On top of the 5-minute little clips, there's hour-long videos giving you so much information and such in-depth information that you can take into the exam room, that you can take into your assignments. Like, guys, please use your resources. It's there. Another resource, Quizlet. This is so good for me. When I was doing English, I think it had a lot of English books. It also had a lot of Zulu books. So if you're struggling with this was first additional language. I did home language for English, so it might change. But if you're doing first edition for Zulu, it has books covered, in Gondro, so many things. Quizlet, 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 guys, use it. Another resource. This is something I only discovered in uni, but so I don't know how it would work with high school stuff, but I'm sure it would work fine. If you have like a topic that you don't really understand, but you have the sources to those things, like digital sources, go and use Notebook LM. It is AI, so if you don't feel comfortable using AI, then obviously you don't use it. But it is an AI where you literally put in sources, and then from the sources you've given it, it will either give you flashcards, it will make a video overview, it will make a podcast, it can give you essays. Like, it's so good, guys. Please make use of Notebook LM. Okay, this is probably in terms of actual learning, one of the most important tips. Oh my goodness, like, guys, I can't emphasize it. I can't emphasize it enough. Do past papers. Do your past papers. Like, bro, like, it's free game, bro. It's literally free game. Do the past papers for every subject you have. There is a past paper there, and do it. Like, I genuinely think that's why I did like relatively well in a lot of my subjects, especially for maths lists. That's how I studied for maths lists. Like, genuinely, that's all I did. Past papers. Because there's some subjects where it's like you can't really go over the book, Because so yeah, maths lists is a great one. If you don't do past papers, I should say happy birthday, Beyonce. Happy birthday, Beyonce. Another tip, okay, right? It's the end of the year now. Even if it's not the end of the year, anytime you've been doing a lot of tests, right? So you've done tests and you obviously didn't get 100% in everything, right? If you did, shout out. Why are you watching this video? But anyways, yeah, you're doing class tests, you get your paper back, you've made some mistakes. Maybe you got a good mark. Say you got 80%, right? But 20% of the things you got them wrong. You either didn't know the content, or you didn't understand what they were asking you to do, right? Or you just messed up a little mistake. It'd be the small mistakes, right? So what you do now, you write corrections in class. I'm sorry, but if you're getting a paper and you're just looking at the teacher while they do corrections, I don't know what you want from me. I honestly don't know what you want. Like, yo, do corrections, and then when it's time to study for that subject, you go over what you got wrong, understand why you got it wrong, and then you won't make that mistake again. Imagine making the same mistake 5 times and you don't even know. Like, huh? So yeah, please do correction. Yeah, guys, please do correction. Please, you like your past papers, like even if it's a little class test that was worth 30 marks, that is study material. That is, those are resources. Like, use them. I use them so much, especially for maths. My goodness, like those saved me. Like, yo. And this is one of the last tips is just stay off social media. Yo, I think that's one of the things that cost me in Matric. I think maybe I would have been first in grade if I didn't have Instagram. Like, no, like, guys, it's so bad. And I don't know, it's just so bad. I'm not saying delete Instagram or TikTok, but like for the whole year. But as soon as your trials come or your final exams come, just delete it. Just for that month, bro. Just get rid of it, because I promise you, you're not gonna die, but your marks are gonna look way better. Or just know, if you know you have self control, just know would say, okay, don't take a break from studying by scrolling. Like, yeah, just don't do it to yourself, please. I beg of you, like, please. Guys, honestly, it's your last day in high school. It's bittersweet. Enjoy it. Keep pushing. Yeah, and when you're feeling lazy, I often felt lazy in matric because it's like, oh, I just want to be out of here, right? Just remember the motivation thing we are talking about and the mindset thing. Find what motivates you. By the end, for me, I knew that I wanted to be out of KZN, and every time I was like, yo, I'm not doing this oral. I'll take the L, whatever. I remember I just had the nightmare of staying in KZN for another year. I just couldn't do it. So find something that even scares you, like, yo, another girl I was talking to while I'm at uni, she was like, she did everything she could to just to get out of Google. Now I don't know what Google is like. Maybe it's nice, but that was her biggest motivation. If you know you're in somewhere that you're just not trying to be, work hard, like, because it's really up to you. It really is. But work hard, enjoy it, have fun, and you guys have got this. You're gonna smash it. Bye.